Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my Flutter tutorials. And in this video we are going to cover something about routes. I know this is something which we use every day in our Flutter applications, but having a clear understanding that what are the options by which we can use routes, or there are multiple options to go to from one page to another page. So we'll see how we can use that, because in my Let's Flutter with Dart group on Facebook, someone asked me that what is the difference between push named and normal push. So there are a couple of changes which happened in the past. We'll talk about that. Like earlier it was not possible to send arguments via push name, but it is not possible. So how we can use them, what would be a good way of doing things. So as you can see, we have a very simple project, a counter application. So I'll go to page 1. Okay, so this is the home page where you can see this is a normal counter application, but it has a button go to page 1, which is like this. So this is the flat button which is saying just go to page 1. We haven't implemented on pressed yet. Then we have 3 more pages which does not have anything else. Just go to page 2, then on page 2 you have go to page 3, and on page 3 you have go to home. And all of these pages accept some data in their constructor, and they also have this static string which is route name, which is slash and the page name. So this is what we are doing, and you can also add these route names to a different file altogether, but it's totally your choice. So now we'll see that, in the main.dart we have this material app which is just having this home, my home page. So let's say if you don't want to specify what is the home, then can you do this? So yes, you can do this. So you have one more property here which is initial route. Okay, so whenever your app will start, how you want to which route you want to show first. So this is the initial route, and you can specify here like my home page dot route name. So my home page dot route name is slash home. Okay, and now you will remove this, but it will also not work. It will give you an error. Why? Because initial route, whenever you will specify, it just want to take this slash, not slash home, because initial means slash. This is how Flutter understands it. So if I remove this particular part and if I just do a hot restart, then it should work. And it still didn't work. Okay, let's try again. Let's do a hot restart again. Oh, it's not working. Why? So okay, so why it is not working? Because we have specified the initial route, but we haven't give Flutter to understand that what are different routes available for us. Okay, so for this scenario, we have this material app. We have another property which is called routes, which takes a map where you can specify that what are the different routes available for this Flutter app. Okay, and there are other options as well. This is one of them. So we will specify, let's say it will take a string as the key, and widget builder as the value. Now we have to specify the routes. What are the available routes? So first route is my homepage dot route name, which is just simply slash, and then we'll pass the context as a callback, and then we can specify my home page. Then what it is doing, it is saying that if this is the route, take me to this particular home page. Okay, but the problem with this approach is that you cannot pass any data. So now if I'll just do a hot restart, although it is working itself, but now the difference is that you can see that you cannot pass any custom data here. It can be one time if you want to pass a title, let's say something like this. Then you will see that if I do a hot restart, okay, so this title is there. So you can pass some data, but this will be a static data, so you cannot pass some dynamic data to it. So that's a problem with this approach. Now as you can see, we haven't specified any home property because initial route kind of work for us right now. Let's go back to our this home page where we have this button go to page 1. Now to go to page 1 we can have different ways. So first way is that directly using push. So we can use navigator dot push, and now it will ask for a context and then a route. So the route, if we will see this method, then you will see that it takes a route. If I go here, then you can see the route. This is what it takes. So there can be different kind of routes. So one of them is this material page route. Okay, so if I go here, then you will see that it extends a page route. So you can use this page route as well, and you can maybe inherit this page route, and you can make your custom page route. Okay, so it's totally your call. It's like many people use different these routes for different kind of transition or animation. So okay, now what I have to do here, this material page route takes a context, and this gives a callback as a builder, and I'll pass the context here, or I will receive a context from here, and then we can just write page 1. Okay, and let me just import it. So now you can see that this thing is available with us now. Now if I'll press this, go to page 1, oh, it didn't work. Why? Because something wrong happened. Let's see what happened. So I will just do a hot restart, and now hot restart, we have to restart it again because the app crashed. And let's see why it is crashed. If I just want to go to debug console, that our debug output is still not there with me. Now we will see that what actually happened. So now if I'll press go to page 1, it is working. Okay, so there's no problem, and it is working fine. But the problem that, like, it is working perfectly, there's no issue in that, but the problem is that this looks a little bit weird because let's say if you have multiple buttons like this in the whole project, it's very difficult to manage this navigator.push. And in fact, this code also does not look that clean. Let's say you are using a material page route here, but you have a different route which you have implemented yourself, and let's say you want to change this route everywhere in your project because you don't feel that this material route gives you a proper transition animation or something like that, then it will be very difficult. So how you can manage that, and how you can write this code like very well. So what are the other options? So what we could do, we can go back to this material app, and we can specify another route here, which will be page 1 dot route name, and here we will say just page 1. Now how to use this route? So what we will do, we will remove this piece of code, and we can just write navigator dot push named. Okay, we can pass the context and the route name. So route name would be page 1 dot route name. Now if I just want to go, I can still go. Let's just do a hot restart for the time being. Okay, now I can go, right? But there's another problem, that now as you can see, I am not passing any kind of arguments. Let's suppose this go to page 1 accepts some data. So right now it does not have any data. And if I just copy this piece of code and I go back here to my previous code, then you can see in the page 1 I can pass some data. So data, let's say this is some data. Now if I'll go back to page home page, now if I'll press, so you can see this is some data. So this is how we can pass some data. But if I go to the new approach, which is PushNamed, there's no way of passing the data. As of now it has some way, but previously it does not have. So now you can see this also takes an object of arguments. So what we can do, we have these arguments here where we can pass some data. So this is some data. Okay, now if I go back, if I just press this, okay, we cannot see the data yet because it still doesn't understand how to deal with this data. Now if I go back to this routes, there is nothing like, it's not specifying anywhere that if there is a data, how we can handle it. So what we need to do in this situation? So there is a very simple way of doing this as well. So what we will do, we will remove this from here. Okay, now you will say that if I'll press this button, it will not work, and which makes sense because we have removed this route. So as you can see, could not find a generator for route settings page 1. Okay, so what does this mean? That if let's say if you are pressing this thing, it will go to this routes, but it does not found any route. Then what it will do? So it has one more property, which is on generate route. It will go here, that whenever you generate a route, it will go to this place, and here it takes a route settings, okay, which we can just say settings. And similarly, let's say if that route does not exist, then it will go to on unknown route. It is also kind of same, it takes a route settings like this. Okay, now let's try and replace this page1.route name to something like okay slash abcd. So this route does not exist, and which is very unknown because we haven't specified it anywhere. So let's see if that it comes to this place. Let's print the route settings, okay, and then also print the settings. Okay, now we can just say route settings unknown. Okay, and what we can do here is this. Okay, this is what we have right now, and then we can copy this with known. Now what I want you to see is that, just clean it. Now if I press go to page 1, you can see we got some error first of all, which makes sense, and oh, we got something like this. Okay, let's try to add one breakpoint here and one here. Now let's do a hot restart, and now if I'll just press go to page 1, then you can see on generate route. Okay, and it is saying that known settings, and if I just press like this, and it will go to then on unknown route because it does not understand what to do this with route. Then it will throw this to on unknown route. So now if I'll just go here, then maybe I can see my print statement. Yes, so on the top you can see we have unknown, that this is on data, and then unknown, the route setting. So basically what is happening, it will go to this on generate route. It will check whether whether our program understands this route. So we are just printing it. That means that does not understand that what's happening. Now what it will do, if you will not handle it here, then it will throw it to on unknown route, and then also it is not doing anything, so it will give you an error. Now if I specify here that this page 1 dot route name, and if I specify things like this, okay, now what will happen? So now if I just add page1 dot route name, it will never go to this okay, let's just go here. And so now if I'll just clean this up, and now one second, now if I press this, then you will see that it just moved to this next page without showing anything, because then it knows that there are routes and it is available in this route name. So we don't want that. So now let's again disable it, and now if I'll press this, then again we are here. Now let's look at this settings, what it takes and what it gives. So this settings, if we go further, and let me just a little bit zoom here. So as you can see, so this is the settings. Oh my god. Okay, this is the settings which takes a name, which gives a name slash page 1 is initial route false and argument. So this is what it is giving us. Okay, and it is the string, the argument, because we passed a string. So now what I'll do, okay, one second guys, what's happening? Okay, now fine. Now I'll just press this. Okay, now I'm just gonna remove these breakpoints. Now what I'll do, on generate route, okay, we have these settings, and settings is giving us the so what I'll do, I'll say settings dot name is a string obviously. So what I can do, I'll say string route name, and I'll say settings dot name. Okay, let's remove this part of code, and now we have the route name here, and then we can use a switch case. Let's say something like this, switch, okay, switch route name, and then we can have something, then we can have case page one dot route name. Okay, and then what we will do, if this is the case page one dot route name, then what we want to return, we want to return a material page route, or we can just say that if this is the case, what we want to do, we can say where page, okay, or this will be a good practice, and then we can say page is equal to let's say there can be multiple ways of doing this, but we can just say page one. Okay, and then we can, if we want to pass some data, we can pass data as settings dot arguments. Okay, this is looking good. Now then we will break it, and then at the end of this switch case we can return a material page route. Okay, and then we can pass this context here, and then we can pass the page. Okay, now this is what we have. Now let's just clean this, and now you can see that what I have done is I have this switch case. We can make it better by using it separately somewhere, and then use that particular method here directly. So now if I'll press go to page one, as you can see we have been to go to page one, or this is some data, we are also seeing some data, and that's the only thing we have to change. Now let's see. Now I will implement this kind of stuff everywhere. Now every time where I want to specify something, if I want to change the route, I can just directly change it from here. So this is how you will pass the route settings. Okay, now even if let's say it does not understand, then let's go to our page 3. Page 3 is that invalid page. Let's say we change the data of page 3, that try again, or unknown page, let's name it unknown page, this page 3. And now what I'll do, let's say if you are trying to use some different route name, let's say slash abcd, and because we don't know about what abcd is or something like that, then what we will do, if this is an unknown route, what I'll do, I'll just copy this above line of code from here to here, and I'll just replace, and you don't have to do this, because in programming we don't have to write exactly same code every time. We can fix this, but the only thing I'm concerned here is that you should understand what we are doing. Now if the route is unknown, then what we will do, page 3, we will import this, and we will just page 3, and we can pass some data here. Okay, so now if I'll just press go to page 1, then it is showing me some null returned null. Why this is happening? Okay, let's see what's happening here. So page 3 dot route name works perfectly fine. What happened? Okay, let's try again. Let's do a hot restart, and now if I press this, it's still showing me some error. So let's try to check what kind of error it is. And now if I press this, this unknown route is not working. Why? Because we are when we go to this, we are trying to return this page which is null, so it is not going to this unknown route. So what we need to do, we need to remove this from here, and we need to add this to here. Okay, so what will happen now, if I'll just do a hot restart, then in the case of if this route does not exist, then it will not return anything. So now if I'll just go here, then you can see we have this page, and yep, so it's still, this is the page 3 dot route name, it is not like that, so we have to change it a little bit. So what we will do, we'll just write something like this, we don't have to use anything, and yes, So yes, it makes sense. So this is the page 3, this is the route name, and we don't even need this because we know that this is an unknown route. Now if I just do a hot restart, and if I just press go to page 1, it will go here something like this, and it will return an unknown page because we don't know what is /abcd. Okay, so this is how you can use push named, and there can be multiple ways of doing this. So we can just say page 1 dot route name. This is some data. Now I'll copy this, we'll go to page 2 and page 1. Okay, so we'll go to page 1. Now here I'll write page 2 dot route name. Okay, so this will move us to page 2, and we can say welcome to page 2. Now for this particular use case, then on the page 2 we can write something right like this, page 2, and then we can see where we want to return this. Okay, so page 3, or we can just say home page, my home page. Yes, so now we have all things done. Now here in the material app, what we will do, because we want to pass some data, we have this switch case that we want to return to this particular case. Now what I want, I'll just copy and paste this, that if it is page 2 dot route name, do this, and if it is let's remove this case. Now what will happen, for the my home page it will use this, for other two pages, page 1 and page 2, it will use this, and for every other page it will use this. So now if we will just do a hot restart, then we will see that go to page 1, okay, go to page 2, it's fine, go to page 3. So it's not going to page 3. On page 2 you will see it is saying go to page 3, but it is going to actually home page. So we'll say home, go to home. Now yes, fine. So now if I'll press this, and you are back to home. Now this is how the navigator works. You know already how pop and push works, but this is the idea which I wanted to show, and this is the place where we can use this code at a one single place, and it will look much more cleaner. We can still like make it more clean, but the main idea is that how to use this on GenerateRoute, InitialRoute, and UnknownRoute. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe to this channel. If you are not the subscriber already, press the bell icon if you want to get future updates. A lot of videos are coming now because I was on some important work, so that's why I could not create more videos, but now I am back again, and this code is also available on GitHub, so check the link in the description. Bye bye, take care, and keep fluttering.